Basically, what I'm seeing here is one person saying they hate me or that feelings have faded, and one person saying that they love me. And am I to get that correctly to say that one of the people that says that I love or they love me is my daughter? That would be interesting. And one person said I was simple and elegant after calling me intelligent. Not sure how to take that really, but okay. The only person that I actually would think of even seeing minutely on here, giving me any sort of positive reinforcement whatsoever, is my kid. And I know Selena would do it, but I'm thinking that she either never felt that way or she doesn't feel that way any longer. And she just didn't want to break my heart, and she didn't want to hurt me, and she didn't want me thinking and beating myself up over the fact that I didn't come back when she was feeling that way. Which is why she had no contact with me, because it could very possibly have been that she didn't trust herself to be around me. And she didn't trust me around her, possibly. She didn't trust the fact that I would try to take advantage of maybe her lack of self-control. Probably not. That's my wishful thinking, maybe, but that could very well have been the case. Then there's Desiree, who said, I want to be your stable partner. Probably because she's got a sadistic sense of humor. I wouldn't count that as serious if my life depended on it. And if Anna's on here, she was on here the other day saying, and you know what, we're not on different paths. I want to get back to making money and living my life. However, I can't do that at this point in time because all avenues seem to be shut still and have been for an extended period of time, which is probably why you asked the sociopath question quite some time ago, so that I could clear myself of that stigmata very quickly. Being the fact that I had said that to various and sundry people before, they had picked up on that or whatever, and I had been stuck with that label for quite some time, and then now I have somebody saying that I broke them or hurt them. And consistently I was there for that kid. And I get it, right? It's not easy when you have somebody come back into your life and your feelings have faded and you don't know what to say, and you can see that they're very passionate about you because they're just now realizing those feelings. And the only thing that you can really do is sit there and bide your time until he snaps the fuck out of it and realizes that things change. So it's like this. I highly doubt that I've encountered, well, there's no fucking way that one friend would tell me to fuck off and then the other one would say, I want to be your stable partner. It just doesn't work. There's a certain amount of loyalty involved in everything else. So I don't see that happening, but there is the fact that every time I try to garner something for myself, something that makes me happy, something that brings me some kind of comfort, that never comes to pass because somebody always finds a way of pissing on it. And no, I haven't changed. And yes, I do want to make money. And yes, I do want to go to school. And yes, I want all those things even now. And it's been 10 years since I began this journey where I wanted to be a police officer and got the door slammed in my face a couple hundred times. And actually, there was a certain someone at Compass that said that I would be a shitty police officer, and I couldn't even tell the people that were in my corner, or the people that wanted to do me harm or discord or things to that nature. And I know a lot of this was simply getting to know me, seeing if I was dangerous, seeing if I was unstable, seeing if I would hurt somebody, and seeing if I was exactly who I claimed to be, because usually when something is too perfect and too good to be true, then oftentimes it obviously is. and to see what label you could probably toss in my general direction, and to possibly garner some sort of comeuppance for a fat, old Romanian, senile piece of garbage. And I'm sorry, but that's kind of the way that's going to go, and that's kind of the way it's going to stay. And I realize that I'm not going to say it's wishful thinking to try to get a woman in my life at this point, but, you know, I mean, the other day you did make a comment, it's like, I just got kicked out of my house, can I come over to yours? And that kind of made me think, and it's like, is she trying to tell me that I am inadequate for her current needs at this present point in juncture? Or what? Or are we really just sort of building a bridge for the general public to see that I'm not Satan reincarnate? But every time I try to garner something for myself, it blows up. It goes right out the fucking window. And, you know, I mean, the last thing I wanted to do was get you any trouble for your marriage or, you know, your union or anything else. And to think that I don't care about money, I do care about money. I've just had to live for an extended period of time with nothing. And yet people think that I should still be full of gratitude for what exactly? The pain that I feel every morning when I wake up? No thanks. Why the fuck am I going to feel gratitude for absolutely anything? And I know that at the very outside I should probably be grateful for the ability to draw breath, but what's the point anymore? What's the point? I can't live any of my dreams. I can't live any of my fantasies. I can't, you know, do anything I want to do. This is no kind of life. So realistically, what's the fucking point in the whole thing? Why? So I can just sit here and live on someone else's whim and someone else's dollar and become the thing that I hate the most? And I do care about money and making a good living, and I am ambitious. But every move I make and every step I take, it's constantly fucking blocked, or it takes forever. It turns out that even though I passed the test or lived up to what I said I was going to do, I can't fucking get shit going if my life depended on it. And it's, you know, like it's, and then when I try to get a girlfriend or want something in my life or try to have something that's mine, makes no difference. Same exact shit. Fucking that gets sandblasted too. And I don't get anything, and then I don't get shit. And then people, you know, they lie or they make shit up and they go, you're going to get $1.5 million and all this other stuff or whatever. And that's not going to happen either. So realistically, I'm sitting here and I'm broke. And my body is in pain for at least a part of the day. And why am I gonna fucking, what's the point of being happy anymore? There's not even remotely one fucking thing that gives me joy anymore. What gave me joy was getting on here and talking to you. And that's probably gonna end soon anyway, and as it should, because you're gonna go back to your husband, and that is the way of things and the way that this should go. But what after this is going to become of me? Probably not a lot. And I will never be the same after this whole thing, probably ever again. And so far as everything else, you know, I'm going to put my best foot forward with school. And I'm going to try. And I have the sneaking suspicion this also might have something to do with the fact that she didn't want me working out and changing my life because of her. Maybe she felt bad about that. The way I loved her, and then her putting a condition on me, my TV argument could also be made that she wanted me to look after my life and take care of myself. It's all in how you take and perceive something, you know what I'm saying? So perhaps I should have taken it in that regard, which I pretty much did, and then go from there. love and respect and everything else and all this other shit. And the fact that she tried to cop out and say she lied about loving me or things to that nature. Maybe she used to, maybe she did now for a while, but then figured out that I had changed. And that the pain and everything else of being outside and of hurting and of hunger and of pain and of a lot of other shit fucking basically drove me crazy. But I can't change that. It's already happened. I can't change everything that happened in all those shelters because it's already happened. I can't give myself a better, social circle because I don't have a social circle. My life, and it feels like what's remaining of my life, is going to be spent in this fucking room. Sitting here playing on a fucking phone that's going to break down any minute because the battery keeps fucking going super quick. And what is to become of me? Well, I'm probably going to die alone. And, that's not quite true. I mean, there's a possibility that it couldn't be true, but the chances are very good that I'm going to die alone, broke, fucking penniless. And before you say anything, Selena, this isn't a guilt trip, so relax. But I'm probably going to die alone, broke, penniless. And finally thanking God for my sweet release from this hell on earth. Because this has been pain on a consistent basis, and if I had a fucking brain in my head, which I do, by the way, I have quite the brain in my head, I'd go fucking shoot a few people. And see, this is going to be the true test of my character, and the fact that she loved me unconditionally. No, that's not quite so. But, I feel like there's no hope. And I feel like there's nothing to live for. And maybe that was the point of all this, to take away the final little bit of self-confidence that I possessed, and to take away the last little bit of glad and glee and smile that I had. And so I could retire in this fucking shitbox for the rest of my days. Because I need to show gratitude for being in pain every morning when I get out of bed. And I need to show gratitude for every morning cursing God for not taking me the night before. And that's honestly where my head's at right now. And I'm sorry if that depresses anybody, but that's a fucking fact, Jack. And I'm sick and tired of this shit. And what woman would want me in her life at this point anyway? I'm about as fun as a fucking nail up the ass. And I'm tired, and I have fucking had it with this shit. And I've had it with the fucking infections that I get. I've had it with the rest of this shit. And I've had it with the fucking garbage family that I got blessed with. And I've had it with every other fucking thing in my life. I've had it. I fucking had it. And one girl says, I love you. The other one says the feelings aren't there anymore. And you know what? I'm not sure whether she's honestly talking to me or talking to her husband, but for the life of me, I don't know why she'd choose me over her fucking husband anyway, because the husband's got a job, the husband's got a life. The husband is the father of her babies, for crying out loud. And what can I bring to the table right now besides a lot of fucking grief, trauma, and waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and screaming bloody murder? And then looking over, realizing my door locks, and thank the lucky stars that I'm the only one in here. So, that being said, if she met me, great. I mean, we can talk about that, and perhaps that would cheer me up to the point of actually continually, I'm going to keep going anyway, but, keeping going and realizing that God loves me, and for that alone, I'm going to keep going and succeed. And, victory is going to be its own fucking reward and everything else, and yay. But who am I kidding? I'm still going to get up every morning. I'm still going to curse God for not taking me the night before. And I'm not going to be filled with very much fucking gratitude, because as far as I'm concerned, fucking life sucks. And anybody can say anything they want. They can curse my name. They can call me a fucking goof. They can do whatever they wish. But I'm done with caring. I don't give a shit about life. I don't give a shit about my life. I stopped giving a shit about my life a long time ago. I'll tell you a little story. I was fucking in a bar one night, and there was two guys that came up to me, and this is the second to the last time I was drinking. And it was in Victoria. And the one dude shoved me, and I looked over, and I fucking headbutted him as hard as I could, and I shattered his fucking nose. And when I did that, the other one looked at me, he says, "Who the fuck are you?" I said, "I'm the last thing you're ever going to see alive, so if I was you, I'd go out the fucking door and don't come back in here." And he left. And I looked for the fear at that particular point, and I looked for the worry and the carrying over the whole thing. And I couldn't find it. And I came to the realization at that point that I didn't give a fuck anymore. I didn't care about my life, not even remotely. Because right at that particular point, there was no longer anything to live for. And that's how I've been living ever since. Because Nietzsche said it best. He said, "Those that have a why can survive anyhow." And up until this point, up until a little bit ago, I had a why. So maybe it's my time to finally die. And I think that would be a grand idea. I'll scratch that. If I'm going to stick around for a while longer, it wouldn't be so bad. But I think dying would be no big deal in that either. No one would give a fuck. I know I wouldn't. I'm sick of this crap, really. And, wow, I'm sounding like my mother right before she died. But I want to die too. I don't see any big deal in it. There's nothing left. And the fact that people have been pounding on me and pounding on me and pounding on me on a constant and a consistent basis. And I continue to tune into fucking YouTube every goddamn night. And every fucking night it's the same goddamn thing. And I was crying on fucking command before. And I was doing it because there was sadistic abuse involved, and I got told afterwards that I was paying a penalty for what I had done in the past. And the lives that I had affected in a negative fashion. Weirdest thing was in fucking Vancouver, there was a lot of other weird shit too. Last time I was there was a lot of weird message traffic and various other and sundry items. But we won't get into that though. But needless to say, for however long I've got left, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to act like I give a shit. As they say, fake it till you make it. And I'm not going to worry about things I can't control, like ever. And no, this is not a guilt trip, so don't get excited. But ever being with a woman again, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about getting work or lack thereof. I'm not going to worry about anything, because I'm going to try. But as it stands right now, and the way things are shaping up, I don't like my chances, not one little bit. But I'm going to try, and I'm going to keep trying, because I told her that I would, therefore I will. But, well, we'll see. I'll keep my glass half full of optimism and half full of pessimism. But so far as everything is concerned, as it stands right now, there's really nothing to live for, and I have no hope of anything. And I pretty much had it with this shit. I've had it. And I wasn't in this shape 10 years ago. And had I been able to do what I want, then I would have a successful career by now. And instead I'm sitting here staring at a fucking screen glass window in a short little cube room. Is this my final resting place or what? After everybody calls truce because they wanted to get to know me, because inquiring minds want to know, and they want to know what makes me tick, what makes me run to and fro, back and forth, what makes me do the things that I do, what keeps me unbreakable, and what keeps me going at a steady pace. Used to be success, but I've been denied that so long I forgot what that feels like. And it was adulation, but that's gone the way of the dodo too. And I really don't want to sit here and heal for another 6 to 8 months, because if I do that, then I'm going to have to be broke and live off other people's BS for 6 to 8 months. And that really doesn't suit me either very much. So I think what I need to do is just invest in a really nice knee brace and go from there, and continue to pop Tylenol and things to that nature, and just kind of play through the pain as it comes. And you know, I don't like decoding somebody's messages or decoding somebody's words or what they really meant or whatever. And just fucking once I'd like somebody to play it straight with me. And I'll whisper to someone else, oh, avoid him, he stares, or things to that nature. You know, every once in a while you can't help but look at somebody, it's a fucking accident, whatever. Shit happens. You're not trying to intentionally make that person feel uncomfortable. And for that person to call you out in a public setting is tacky and really fucking shitty. And I've kind of fucking had it with fucking bitches like that. But again, that's me. What else can I say, right? What else can I say? Like I said, I'm going to try. I'm really going to put through an honest effort to get this going on, and I'm going to try that Navy SEAL workout and various and sundry items. Don't know if Desiree, what she said was true before, but I would guess not. When she said that she was going, there was something tomorrow, be my stable partner, blah, blah, blah. Probably not. There's also a loyalty thing there and things to that nature. There's also the girl code, I would guess, as there is the boy code. And that goes along the lines of never go out with a friend's former whatever, if in fact I was her former, whatever. And now I know at least why she didn't come see me in person, because perhaps it would have been too hard for her to not do something, to not go the distance and do something that she would regret later. She had a husband, she knew that cheating on him would be a mistake, whether they're separate or not, and that was probably the extent of that whole deal. That's the bedtime story I'm going to tell myself anyway, but we'll see what happens, right? There's been a lot of really weird shit going on over the past few weeks, and I'm really kind of done with it. But the gaslighting jars the brain, stimulation, brain cells, neurons, wakey, healing damage of the elasticity and things to that nature, and making it so that you are somewhat more of a version of your former self rather than be decrepit, dementia, Alzheimer's nut bar that can't remember something that happened 5 minutes ago, much less 2 days ago. But that's why I do those exercises on a constant basis, folks, because I don't want my memory fucked up. I don't want any part of me fucked up. And because of the fact that I've been used and abused for many years, as I have told you on a constant basis, I need to make sure that I'm firing good cognitively if I'm going to go give school another go. So have a good night, YouTube. And like I said, Selena, if you're listening, Desiree, if you're listening, in no way was any of this having to do with you or a guilt trip or anything to that nature. I'm simply saying that that's kind of where my head's at right now, and it just can't be helped. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. It just is. That's the way the ball bounces.